Hi, and welcome to episode 31 of Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. Hey, this week I was going to have an in-house guest coming in and talking to me about his tennis career and stuff and how it started in tennis. But however, he ended up getting and feeling a little under the weather. So I'm going to just get out, and what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about the one tournament that just happened last week, Cincinnati Tournament. This week they are in Winston-Salem, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and then also Cleveland for a tennis tournament. But this is all in preparation of the tournament right before the U.S. Open starts. However, the Cincinnati tournament ended up being one of a breakout tournament in the women's side by Coco Gauff and beating Vondarova, and she beat her in 2 sets. But that was a breakout. That was a win of a 1,000 event for Coco Gauff, and she played very good. She's actually, at this particular time, kind of after her Wimbledon first round loss, she then decided to go out there. And then what she ended up doing is going out and getting Brad Gilbert, he used to work with Andre Agassi and got Andre where he was and winning majors back in the day too. And it has improved her game. She's hitting the ball better, hitting the ball stronger, and has a never give up attitude. And also that she ended up beating Iga Swiatek, the number 1 in the world women, in this tournament on her way to the final. So she did play really well. And in the men's final, I have to tell you that it was between the number 1, Carlos Alcaraz, and number 2, Novak Djokovic. However, this particular final went like 3 hours and 49 minutes for just 3 sets, because all they were doing is pounding the ball, and it was hot and humid there. Novak lost the first set 6-3, I believe it was. But he almost seemed like he was getting a heat stroke at the end of the first set. So he kind of regrouped a little bit. And then the next 2 sets were tiebreakers. But the only thing is that these 3 sets and the way they were hitting the ball so good and pounding the ball, and Alcaraz getting shots that you wouldn't think he would get to, and Novak hitting volleys like you wouldn't think that he would be able to get when Alcaraz hit a shot back to him. You just didn't think that either one of them were going to get their shots back, and yet they did. With volleys and ground strokes and overheads and being able to hit shots from out of nowhere, and being able to do that. It was just some amazing tennis in itself with watching that particular match between the 2 of those guys, which might actually end up being kind of a precursor to the final of the U.S. Open. But you never know. There's still a lot of good players in the U.S. Open that still might get an upset win or something like that. But also, I do want to say for you YouTubers, just be sure and subscribe to my channel, and like and make a comment for whatever you want to have a comment on, what you would like me to be covering, what you want me to cover. Just be sure and look at that. Subscribe. And for you podcasters, though, I'm going to have Racket of the Day coming up here pretty soon. So if you want to take a look at what I'm talking about with Racket of the Day, you can certainly go to my YouTube channel, check it out, subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to hear. I want to know what you might want me to cover. any particular podcast that I have coming up, or do like the phone interviews that I do with the people that I've done, and or the in-house guests that I've had. Just let me know, because I just need to find what you might like, what I'm doing, and taking it from there. But anyway, with that said, the Cincinnati final, like I said, was only 3 sets, but it was the most amazing final that I've seen. It really actually rivaled the Nadal Novak Djokovic Australian final that lasted almost 6 hours. And then it also rivaled, it wasn't as long, but it also rivaled the Nadal, Rafa Nadal, and then the Roger Federer 2008 Wimbledon final. That can group that in there, even though it was only 3 sets. That it was still an amazing 3 sets as it was, but it was so hot and humid. Usually within a 3-set match, you're only allowed one break to go to the bathroom or whatever it might be. And in a 5-set match, you can go twice. However, at the end of the first set, at the end of the second set, Djokovic left the court. But the one rule is that if your equipment, you can't play with your equipment, meaning your clothes and they're too wet and that's a hindrance to you, you can go change your clothes. So that's how come he went and was off the court in the middle at the end of the second set. So that was an interesting little rule that they do have if it is way too hot for getting out there and then doing that. So with that, it's just like I said, and also with the U.S. Open coming up, and then the tennis that's going on this weekend, which is the last tournament before the U.S. Open starts. So there's going to be some wonderful tennis being played at the National Tennis Center at the U.S. Open this year. So with that, it's going to be wonderful, I think. Another great year, and who do you think might win? I don't know. I would like to pull for Novak, if anybody. But then Alcaraz, he's going to be the most toughest competitor there, and then going through people too. But there's always such good competition. There's always the guys that have been in the business and playing for so long, like Richard Gasquet, that has the most beautiful one-handed backhand that I always loved, and I would love to just try to be able to hit a backhand one-hander like that. Never did have a two-hander, but I always liked the one-hander. So I'm getting there and finally getting kind of a little bit of my game back with things. I did a couple of weeks ago play my friend Rob Small that you saw on the podcast a few episodes back, and I held my own against him. I couldn't wake up the first set, and he beat me 6-1. But then the next 2 sets were fairly good, and I held my own. If it weren't for a couple little mistakes on my part, it was 6-4, 6-3, and he won. But both of those sets could have gone either way. Really, if I could have done a little bit something different, or hit a little bit different of a shot, or got the ball over, or the backhand over better, then I probably could have won one of those sets. It would have went 3 sets. So it still did go 3 sets, but it was still a very fun match to play against him. And I know I can hold my own against him. I'm getting it that kind of a game back a little bit right now. So with that, it was just a fun match to be able to play. And but anyway, let me know your comments. Like I said, you YouTubers, be sure and go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and like and comment. Let me know what you might want me to talk about. And then you podcasters, if like I said, Racket of the Day is going to be coming up. So if you want to go see what I'm talking about on my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Doc, be sure and do that and subscribe and like also, or subscribe and like of the podcast if you like that, and let me know what you might want me to talk about, with the podcast or whatever it might be. So let me know one way or the other. I would like to know what I can do to make it better for you and the enjoyment of it all. Hopefully, I will be doing some more over the phone interviews with some places and getting some other people to talk to and let you know where I was in my tennis career at the time and in doing all of that. But with that right now, I do want to show you here what we have is called the Racket of the Day. It's called the Super Driver Racket. And this racket is actually a Broadway Tennis Racket Manufacturing Company Incorporated out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Now, this racket's probably was probably made in the mid 20s to mid 30s or late 30s by this particular racket company, long time gone now, but was probably one of the companies that was built in that time and was a popular industry built like that. But Pawtucket, Rhode Island, in itself, was known for the birthplace of the American industrial population. In the 1920s, Pawtucket was a prosperous mill town and was part of Massachusetts and was transferred to Rhode Island and reincorporated in 1862. But that's kind of a little history of Pawtucket. One of the most and known for being the birthplace of the American industrial revolution is what it was really kind of known for with that. But then again, also with this too, as I can kind of closely see, a very good racket though, very nice, still in good shape, and for the racket of this age. It looks like it's still, these are some kind of could be a catgut or cowgut on it. Of course, then they have the little strings here. They have the knots and the smoothness on one side or knots on the other. So that way you could say smooth or knots when you spin the racket to see who wins the spin of the serve that way. But that's the racket right here. So very nice racket. And like I said, you YouTubers, you're seeing it right now. Very good racket, very nice. Then also you podcasters, like I said, if you want to see the racket that I'm talking about, go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and then just be sure and comment, like, and both of you YouTubers and podcasters, comment, like, subscribe, get as many people as you know that likes tennis or likes any history of tennis and likes seeing the rackets that I have here right now for you. So if you can get back to me and let me know one way or the other with the comments. I'm always open to that, to have you come in and let me know and give me a comment on what you like of the podcast and everything and of that nature. But hopefully next week I will get an in-house guest and see what happens. And hopefully he will be feeling better that day. And then it should be a pretty good interview with him. So anyway, I do thank you. Now, everybody, still it's nice out most of the time, sun out there. So this week, everybody have a good week playing, and have a good week on the courts. Get out there, keep playing, keep having fun, keep winning. Or if you lose, just try your best to win the next time. So everybody have a good week, and thank you very much, and have a good week. Thank you.